Hello, people tube. Wow, I'm sorry. That movie. Okay, hello, people tube. And welcome back to another review. I'm Chris.
I'm Wayne, the real deal.
We just got out of seeing Creed 2.
And holy shit.
Wow. That was the best movie I've seen in theaters in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And we see a bunch of fucking movies. Kinda. But man, that was good. Okay, Creed 2 is the sequel to the first Creed, which is basically Apollo Creed's son rises up through the ranks, Rocky trains him, becomes champion. Well, Creed 2, it starts out, we see Victor Drago, who is the son of Ivan Drago from Rocky 4. Mm-hmm. Well, Victor's been training to basically bring the belt back to Russia. You know, he's fighting for the respect of his country, which his father lost, and shit like that. And, of course, Michael B. Jordan that plays Creed, he's already champion, but basically he's fighting in the name of his father, and, you know, he's constantly asked, you know, why are you doing this? And he wants to fight. He wants to win this. So, that's the movie. Now we get to talk about it. What did you think?
Like, fuck. Well, first off, like, I got chills, and I'm cold as fuck, so... You know, if I'm shaking, then you know why.
Yeah.
But just my God, like I'm speechless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm absolutely like there were two things that, without a doubt, this movie was emotional as fuck, and it was brutal as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and by brutal, I mean those fights.
Oh yeah.
Every punch is just straight to your face, and the sound in the theaters is fantastic. Man, yeah. No, when he talks about emotion, he's right. This movie has emotion. Mm-hmm. It reminds me more of Rocky 1 and 2. Well, you know how Rocky 1 and 2 would always have like the emotional scenes. Like in 1, it was his wife, you know, his Adrian, and the brother was always screaming and abusive and an asshole. Yep. And, you know, and Rocky winning was always emotional. And when they had their kid, it was emotional. Mm-hmm. Shit like that. This movie captures the essence of the first two Rocky's films, emotion, really well. And it captures it even for Ivan Drago and his son, which is so weird. It's so weird because Rocky 4 is such this goofy, over-the-top, dumb fucking movie. But it shows Ivan Drago and his son in this really serious and dark, almost brooding light, and it's so good. Mm-hmm. They don't talk that much, at least his son, but every emotion, and you can see it in his face.
Yeah. You
can see the disappointment, you can see the anger, you can see everything. But Ivan Drago pushes his son, because after Ivan Drago lost to Rocky, his country abandoned him. You know, he went to live in Ukraine, and he's completely abandoned. His wife left him. He doesn't have a life. His only life is his son. And he pushes his son to train beyond what his son possibly can. And his son, the only thing he knows is training. He doesn't know a father's love or a mother's love. It shows that in the film. And that's what makes the ending of Creed 2 so fucking good. I don't want to spoil the ending. We're not going to spoil the ending. I mean, I really don't. It's very good, so good. But performances. Michael B. Jordan was great as Creed again. Mm-hmm. Dolph Lundgren was good as fucking Ivan. Yep. The guy that plays Victor was good. Everybody did a great job in this movie. Mm-hmm. So the acting was spot on, perfect. The music was great. Every scene that there was music in, they did it perfect. During his last fight with Victor, they played the original Rocky theme, or at least chunks of it, and it fit so well. Man, I was so exhilarated during that fight when the Rocky theme kicked in. Yeah. God, it was like being a kid again, watching those fucking Rocky movies on TV.
I mean, hell, we were both like really getting into it. It's like, like within the last fight, we felt the punches.
Oh, you could, especially in the theaters with the surround sound. Every punch rang in your ear. So when they connected, it was a poof, and you went, oh, God, it was good. So good. The movie's so good. It's the best Rocky movie since Rocky 3. Mm-hmm. Hands down.
Hands down. And I'd be damned if this motherfucker don't get an Oscar.
I fucking hope so. Everything about it was good. Like, there's no part of it that just, like, I don't know. There was no part of it I didn't like. Well, I'm gonna be picky for one moment.
Oh God, here he goes.
Well, no. Let me say. Okay, let me say this. Because I think you might actually kind of say the same thing.
All right.
After he loses his first fight, sorry for the spoiler, but he loses the first fight to Victor. Well, disqualified. Technically, let's be honest.
It was controversial.
Yeah, let's be honest though. He's seen it as a loss. The whole world's seen it as a loss. Mm-hmm. It's basically the same shit as like the end of Rocky 1.
Yeah.
You know, he lost. Like Rocky lost, but you know, to Apollo, he was like, I want to fight him again. It was kind of like that. Mm-hmm. So after he loses, he goes into the hospital. He breaks his fucking ribs and shit. But the section that comes after he gets out of the hospital, where he's just kind of an asshole to like his wife and shit, I didn't care for that. And one of the things I like that they did with that is how they contrasted it with Ivan Drago's son, and it showed him like, you know, finally seeing his mother after all these years, and all these rich fucks who, you know, used to support his father during his boxing days, but threw him aside. Well, you know, Ivan's son is just like, why are we here? Why are we doing this? They threw you aside. We shouldn't be anywhere near these fucks. To me, that was more interesting than seeing Michael B. Jordan's basically cry fest. I think, like, I understand, but to a point, I think he's kind of a dick.
Right. Honestly, I think you know, that bit still works.
Yeah. Well, I think it works for the movie, but I think my own preference, I think I would rather see more of like a Rocky thing, where even though, you know, Rocky would lose, he would still treat his wife with respect. You know, he wouldn't act like a spoiled little bitch.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But of course, like, you know, in terms of realism, like, you know, if you lose a fight and you're like, you're really big in the boxing.
No, I completely understand.
Obviously, you'll get emotional.
No, I completely understand what they're going for, and like I said, because I'm such a Rocky fan, and like that's how, like, in my mind, I kind of wanted it more like what Rocky would have done, which I understand. Creed is obviously a different person, different character. They're completely different people. Right. So that's just my own bias. Right. But of course, I'm not going to take a point off of it just because of my own bias, because the movie's still fucking amazing.
Right.
But that part right there. But man, Victor Drago was a really good fucking like villain character, because he was so sympathetic. Like, a lot of people will go into this thinking, like, looking at him being like, oh, he's just like his father from the first film, a big brute motherfucker that's just he don't care about. That's not true. Victor Drago has, and there's a line in the movie that Rocky said, when he said, Victor Drago has nothing to lose while you have everything to lose. That's not true. Victor Drago has everything to lose while Creed really has nothing to lose. And I'll explain it. If he lost, let's say, that second fight, we pretty much both know he was going to win.
Right.
Like, I didn't see him losing it.
No.
It still follows the same rules as, like, Rocky. So, let's say he lost it. What would he'd lose a belt. Okay.
Right.
But he would still have his wife, his mom, he would still have Rocky's love, he would still have his restaurant, he would have everything. The thing is when Victor won the first fight, he gained the admiration of his mom, his country back, and his father. He gained the love of his father, which he didn't have before. Or at least if he did, it was never shown. The thing is, when Victor lost, he lost his mom again, he lost his country again, which, like I said, I can't spoil the ending, so I can't tell you about the Ivan stuff. But that's what I think they, like, for that section, that's what makes Victor a good villain. Because I think the Victor is so sympathetic that I can actually sympathize with him. And to a point, I can actually sympathize with him a little more than Creed at some points. For that in general. Because, like I said, I think that he had more to lose.
Right.
He had more to gain and more to lose. Creed didn't really have... if he won, he won the belt. I mean, he kept the belt. Okay. fine.
Right.
If he lost the belt, but he kept everyone who loved him. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
By when I say that Victor had more to lose and more to win by winning and losing.
Right.
Which makes, to me, him a good villain. In fact, I would say he's the best villain since Clubber Lang.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a better villain than Ivan Drago. I do. Because in 4, Ivan Drago is just a fucking robot.
Yeah.
So, I think that Dolph Lundgren's acting back then, he was too stiff-faced, you know? There was nothing really to emote with, you know? You couldn't really find emotion behind him, which is another reason why 4 is considered so goofy. But yeah, no, I consider him the best villain in the Rocky series since fucking Clubber Lang. So I like him. I like him as a villain. I like how Ivan Drago is now actually given emotion, and he's a more well-built character. All I can say is Creed is a fucking thumbs up and a 9 out of 10.
Like, hands down, 2 thumbs up. I agree, 9 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just a damn good movie. And for those of you that, hadn't seen it in theaters, you guys missed out because, this is like, we caught like one of the last showings.
Oh, yeah, here. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's Creed 2, man. If you still can see it in theaters, do it, man.
Yeah,
the surround sound.
A doubt.
Oh, the surround sound and the scenes with the punch. Oh, God, it's good. Let me tell you, if there's a Creed 3, definitely gotta go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
So,
I will say, if they do make Creed 3, they have a lot to fucking to match up with this one.
Oh, yeah, no, this... I think if they make Creed 3, I think they're gonna do what they did with Rocky 3. They'll kill Rocky in 3.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think, because that right there, I mean, 2 is emotional as hell, but the movie they actually kill Rocky in, yeah.
But the thing of it is, it just matters how they do it.
Yeah, honestly, I would be completely fine if they kind of did it like in 3. If Creed, kind of do what, like, either... See, I don't know, because to me, Creed 2 is basically Rocky 3 and 4 put together.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a great job of that. But the thing is they have to kill Rocky in such a good, memorable way. Like Mickey, once you see Mickey's death in Rocky 3, you can't forget it.
Right.
Rocky loses his fight to Clubber Lang. He's all, like, and then Mickey dies right on top of it. See, that's another reason why, I was talking about Michael B. Jordan kind of being like a spoiled little bitch in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because Rocky, when he lost his big fight, he lost his championship to Clubber Lang, he had to deal with Mickey's death, and he had to deal with losing title, like Michael, and his bruises and shit. He needed to heal. He lost all that, and yet he still was, a gentleman to people that he had to be to. I mean, see, I don't know. But like I said, that's my own bias because, Rocky fan. And I just like Rocky in general as a character. But no, Creed 2, fucking amazing. God, it's so good. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check out Creed 2 while it's still in theaters. So.
Yeah, and if you do miss your chance, by all means...
Buy that shit.
Without a doubt, buy it.
Yep, buy that shit straight on Blu-ray, 4K, whatever the fuck you got is worth it. So, alright, it was cool talking to you guys. Peace the fuck out.
Peace.